the problem with getting old is all the fucking flashbacks you get. I mean, the older you get, the more memories you've got, a lot more shit to actually think about. It's why old people can't sleep and they like to die, just to stop the freaking memories. I mean, of course, that's unless you've got Alzheimer's, they have no memories. It also turns out, didn't know this, I think the same thing happens with Parkinson's. I spoke to my uncle, he's got Parkinson's, and I said to him, do you get flashbacks? And he just looked at, obviously, no flashbacks for those guys. So, thinking about all these memories that you get, I remember the night I met my wife. Well, my ex-wife, let's be fair about it. She was pretty well perfect, or so I thought at the time. Most beautiful woman I've ever met. I've got to say, on the 1 to 10 scale, she's about a 12. And I like to be honest with that. You know, I look at this fine specimen of a body and I think comfortably a 4. You know, Elle McPherson's probably a 9. She's a little bit too tall, you know, she's right up here. Any girl who's so tall you've got to go up on her can't be a 10. Anyway, so met this girl at a party. She was absolutely great. Very quiet at first. Got to say, she was just sitting around not even talking to anybody. I think most of the blokes were probably a bit scared to go and talk to her. But I've gone in to put my jacket into a bedroom later on, and there she is standing there in some fantastic lingerie, and I was kind of hooked. Well, as it turns out, she actually liked me. And got to say, that night, pretty exciting night. Anyway, turns out this girl had 2 very distinct personalities, quite polar opposites as well. The one I met that night that I fell in love with, she was a very good looking but loud, obnoxious, lingerie wearing nymphomaniac. Probably understand why I liked her that night. The other personality was a very conservative lady who liked to cook. She also liked to clean, and she was a fucking mute. Couldn't talk, couldn't say anything annoying. Couldn't say anything complimentary either, of course, but couldn't annoy the shit out of you. Now, I've got to say, when I first met this woman, those qualities did not interest me at all. I was a mid-20-year-old bloke, and it was the other side that I really liked. And I've got to say, cooking and cleaning, not particularly handy in somebody you're not living with. But over time, we moved in together. Those qualities became pretty bloody good. As a matter of fact, over time, I started to like this side of her way more than the other side. I'd come home from work every day, and there she's cleaned the house, she's cooked dinner, dinner's on the table, she greets me with a smile, and she doesn't say a fucking thing. How bloody perfect is that? Dinner's there, we sit down, and I'd say to her, hey honey, how's your day been? What have you been up to? What would you like to do tonight? And I've got to say, most of the time the answer was pretty much the same. She'd just look at me and go, and I thought, she's pointed at the kitchen, the lounge room, and the bedroom after doing this. I knew what I was in for that night after dinner. So dinner finishes, she goes and does all the cleaning up, of course. Then afterwards we have sex in the lounge room and the bedroom. Didn't really want to go to the kitchen. I thought that was a little bit unhygienic. Wouldn't believe it. A couple of years go on, and I am now very much affixed on this lovely side. The nymphomaniac side, yeah, she was good. Oh, it was great actually, but you know that was only 20 minutes a night. And I've got to say, I'm probably exaggerating when I say 20 minutes. But quite surprised the night when I'm sitting there, she comes over, walks over to me all sexy like, gives me fucking divorce papers. It's like, oh, didn't see that coming. Didn't have a chance to talk to the nice one either, because we were at home and she was in that mood and she just threw me out. So anyway, you know, like you have to do, I've moved out, minded my own business one day, and I'm walking down the street and here she is coming the other way. Didn't quite know what to do, so I looked at her and I've given her a smile and a wave, and she looks back at me and she gives me a smile and a wave, and she starts walking over to you. And remember, I haven't spoken to this side of her since before the divorce. So she comes over, she gives me a big hug, I feel those beautiful breasts press into my chest. And anyway, sorry, shouldn't remember that bit too much. But she stands back and she looks at me and she goes, "How have you been?" And what the fuck is going on here? She can talk. Anyway, I did ask her, I said, like, what happened? You're talking now. And she said, well, yeah, after we got divorced, I went and did some work on myself and I saw a hypnotherapist who freed up the block and now I can talk. I thought, wow, that's actually pretty good. I can ask her some questions. But no, she just wanted to tell me there was two really important things that she wanted to say. One was to me, one was to the other half of her. And I thought, well, I'm here. What is it you wanted to say? And she said, well, the first thing I wanted to say was to the other half of me. Oh, okay. All right, well, what did you want to say to you? And she says, well, what I wanted to say was that I really, really, really don't like anal sex. And then she just looked at me and stared. And I've got to say, it did make me feel a little bit uncomfortable because, you know, I've been remembering all those nights that we'd been in bed together. And I've got to say, I thought about it and then I said to her, we've never had anal sex. And she goes, yes, I know. That was the bit I wanted to tell you. And I said, oh, what's that? And she said, that other bitch, she's been cheating on you since the night we moved in here. What? What do you mean you've been cheating? You're the nice one. Why didn't you tell me? And she goes, I tried to, every night. What do you mean? And she's like, you'd come home from work and you'd ask me how my day was and I'd tell you every bloody day that I've been fucking the guy next door in the lounge room and in the bathroom and in the bedroom. And for some reason, you still wanted to have sex there. That's why I thought it was weird and that's why I made her fucking divorce you.